Okay, in the red hair.
Out of all the characters you've written, which one do you think is the most like you? And is there one you want to be like?
I would say that there are none that are specifically most like me. There's a piece of me in every one of them, and it's been very hard for me to determine. If I had one that I think the best of, it's probably Sazed, maybe Dalinar. But I sure wouldn't mind being as clever as some of them are. And you laugh at that because you're like, you wrote them, Brandon. But the thing about being clever, and I have some clever friends. I lived with a guy named Ken Jennings for many years in college, and his brother's just as smart as him, and our mutual friend Earl. They all were on like Quiz Bowl in college together. He won the Jeopardy thing. He did like 80 in a row. And Ken and people like this, what really makes them smart is the speed of thought. They just snap off a retort just like that. And if you get them together, it's this weird thing where like space-time seems to warp around them, and they start one-upping each other with references and cultural jokes and things like that. And you just step back, and it's like they're their own power source. Of random 80s inside jokes, just going at each other. And that's what really makes someone witty, is the ability to pop it off. That's not smarts, that's witty in a book. Now that they're also very smart, but in a book you can emulate that by giving yourself 3 hours to think of what the perfect response would be, and then writing it in the book. And then they just came up with it, and everyone thinks you're brilliant when you're really just, habitually that person is like, that would have been smart. 3 weeks later, that's what I should have said. Well, you can do that. All right, we're gonna go to this crowd in the back.
May I look at them? Oh, sure.
Will there be a follow-up to the arithmetist? Let's go down the list, okay? So, I am writing Stormlight 3 right now. So, Stormlight 3, our goal is for next fall. You can follow along on my website. The projection for me finishing right now is like April, which is going to put it really tight for next fall. But you can follow along. If I get done before April, then we can get it out in November. If it's after April, it's iffy. Otherwise, they would probably wait till January. You usually skip December because it's just so crazy for bookstores. You don't want to be sending new books into them in December. So if that happens, then it'll be another January release or something like that. I have this Bands of Mourning, the next Mistborn book, in the queue. I have Calamity, the next Reckoner's book in the queue, and I have the 5th book of the Alcatraz series in the queue. That's coming up. Yeah, we got the rights back, and we can start publishing the Alcatraz books again in January. So we'll be re-releasing the first 4 with new cover art. It's really cool. We're trying something out with these books as an aside. We did this really cool full-color map, and we're putting it on the inside of the jacket flat thing. So you can take off the jacket while you're reading the book and see the map. And if this works, we want to try it with Stormlight, where you can take off the jacket and see the map. It's just printed in full color on the back. But we want to make sure it looks nice, that it doesn't like, that everything works with it. And so we're going to have this cool map that you can take off the jacket, and you've got the cool map back there. And then the 5th book will be in June.
And you'll be coming to sign?
I will be coming to sign sometime next year. I don't know when it'll be, but I will come to sign sometime next year. By the way, as an aside, this is what I do, those books that I just listed are all collectively shorter than a Stormlight book. You can add the word counts. 2 Mistborn books, 1 Reckoner's book, and Alcatraz, plus a novella. All were written last year, and this year I've only been writing Stormlight, and I'm still only, anyway. Once I finish Stormlight, the next project will be the new YA series for Random House, following the Reckoners. It will be a new thing. I will write one of those. I will probably write Arithmetist 2. I'll probably write the last Wax and Wayne book, and then I will go to Stormlight 4. So those will be my 3 projects that I do in between. So if the book you're waiting for a sequel to wasn't on that list, I will get to it eventually. But it's not on that list, and that's like the list for the next couple of years. Okay. Not yet. All right. Let's do in the blue shirt there.
So there's the game Mistborn Birthright that's been
Mistborn, the video game.
Yeah.
I love the guys who are working on it, but if I were you, would consider it vaporware until you hear more. They've had some real troubles with their company, They're great people who just have not been able to get the game going. And they make a lot of easy, quick games for movie tie-ins, but this one isn't easy and quick, and so it's just been a lot harder for them to get going. They're fantastic people, and I hope that they'll get something going eventually, but I'm not going to talk much about it until they do. Since someone's going to ask the movie things, so Sean Levy owns The Reckoners, optioned that in June. He did Real Steel, the Richard Matheson story. If you haven't seen that movie, it turned out really well with Wolverine in it. He also did the Night at the Museum films, and they're working on a screenplay. DMG owns The Emperor's Soul. They were producers on the latest 2 Iron Man films, and they're a Chinese company. They really liked Emperor's Soul, so they came in and optioned that from me. We have the Mistborn books are with the people who have the video game rights. We combined those together into one right. I gave them a year to work on that. They've been very encouraging on how they're working on that, but it's Hollywood, so who knows what will happen. Legion just lapsed, so if your uncle makes movies, tell him, hey, you should get Legion from Brandon. Stormlight is under contract, but I can't say who yet. So I think everything novel-wise except for Arithmetist is probably, yeah, because somebody optioned the Cosmere minus Mistborn. They got really excited by this whole, wow, it's a shared universe thing. It's really hot in Hollywood right now, and they're a really good company, but they came to me and they're like, we can do Marvel with fantasy. I'm like, I'm not going to say no. We'll see how it turns out, but that's where we are. So, all right, in the hat.
For your story, Legion, are you planning on doing another short story?
Oh yeah, good question. I am planning a 3rd Legion short story, and then I'll probably let that one lay fallow for a while. I don't know when I'll do that. It might be next year. I didn't list novellas. I usually do a novella every year. And so we'll see. It might be Legion next year. Just kind of wrap that up. Not that it's going to really be an ending, because those are very kind of episodic, but it'll be the end of writing those for a while. All right. Other questions right here.
Any advice for finding a good constructive writing group?
Good constructive writing group. Writing groups, your best bet is to find somewhere where, like at a convention, that's doing writing critiques, and get in on one of the group critiques that happen there. They're usually led by like an author or somebody, and see who's giving good critiques, and then approach them and see if you can start something up. I would say that's the best. University classes, if you can get into one of those, as well. Some sort of writing class where you can kind of get a preview for how people critique and things like that. That's your best bet. Conventions or writing classes.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna stop now. I'm sorry. So, you got your thing. You can have, you can have one, and we will.